India will showcase Tejas Mk1 fighter jets at the upcoming Singapore Air Show, from February 15 to 18, the Indian Air Force said on Saturday, with the move aimed at tapping the export potential of the locally made light combat aircraft. 3 Tejas Mk1 jets along with 44-member IAF contingent reached Changi International Airport in Singapore on Sunday to participate in the biennial event. IAF will be pitching the indigenous Tejas Mki aircraft alongside participants from across the world. The Tejas aircraft will be enthralling the audience with its low-level aerobatics and displaying its superior handling characteristics and maneuverability, the IAF said in a statement. Tejas previously took part in the Malaysia, Dubai and Bahrain air shows. The Tejas participation in the Singapore Air Show comes in the backdrop of India taking steps to transform itself from one of the world's biggest weapons importers into an export powerhouse. The military hardware that holds export potential includes the Tejas, Astra Beyond Visual Range Air-to-Air Missile, Akash Surface-to-Air Missile System, BrahMos cruise missiles, and other equipments. Enhancing the capabilities of its troops deployed along the border with China, the Indian Army has provided the latest assault rifles and ATVs to soldiers deployed in the North Sikkim area, which has seen clashes between the two sides in recent times. The aim is to enhance capacity and enable soldiers, especially those posted in challenging terrain, to undertake their operational tasks with ease. The Indian Army has inducted sophisticated weapon platforms and modern equipment in the last couple of years. Mentioning its rapid capability enhancement drive, the Indian Army said ATVs and 7.62mm Sig Sauer's rifles are inducted for soldiers deployed at high-altitude areas. After fighting the enemies with the help of Inshash rifles, the Army now using the latest Sig Sauer 716 rifle. Soldiers deployed in Muguthang subsector in North Sikkim at an altitude of more than 15,500 feet, which is a super high altitude area, could be seen operating with ATVs and 7.62mm Sig Sauer's Assure rifles in that area. Indian Army is in stride with the future and ever ready to defend the nation its frontiers, territorial integrity and sovereignty, emphasized the force. New Delhi and Colombo are discussing a proposal for the supply of 2 Donier aircraft for the Sri Lanka military. In an interview, Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister G.L. Peiris, who met External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and National Security Advisor Ajit K. Doval in New Delhi, said, there is a proposal for the purchase of 2 Donier aircraft. It is one of the matters under discussion. The Donier is a twin-engine multipurpose aircraft, used by the Indian Navy and Coast Guard for maritime surveillance. It is also used by the Indian Air Force and it is manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited under license from a Swiss company. The proposal by India to provide a maritime surveillance aircraft to Sri Lanka has existed for 4 years, but the matter was never seriously discussed. The Donier aircraft were among 23 aircraft from the IAF fleet that took part in a flypast during the Sri Lanka Air Force's 70th anniversary in March 2021. At that time, the Indian High Commission said Sri Lanka was priority 1 for India in the defence sphere. Indian official sources confirmed that the two sides are in very early stages of discussions on the supply of the Donier aircraft. The lukewarm response that was generated among the ordinary people in Pakistan and in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir regarding Kashmir Solidarity Day is likely to ring the death knell of this nearly 18-year-old propaganda event, for which GHQ, Rawalpindi, has been soliciting a substantial amount of public money from Pakistan's civilian government every year. International and domestic observers, who were following the impact, if any, that was generated among the common mass in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir regarding this event, have found that this year too, as has been the trend for some time now, KSD did not generate any traction on the ground. The social media trends for KSD in Pakistan are also not encouraging this year. Officials in Delhi told that despite involving its embassies across the world, the strategists at GHQ were unable to achieve the result that they had hoped for regarding generating noise in support of KSD at a global level. The embassies were asked to conduct online events and debates, which generated an audience in 2 digits. Even Kabul refused to hold a KSD event though a directive was issued. With Russia appearing to cuddle up to China, a country becoming increasingly hostile to India, it's possible that instead of India creating a wedge between China and Russia, Beijing might end up creating a gulf between New Delhi and Moscow. India and Russia have opposite positions on China, and that is becoming a source of major stress in the relationship between New Delhi and Moscow. Russia has now turned eastwards to embrace China. Reports on the summit between Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin on the 4th of February claim to have marked a new era in ties between Beijing and Moscow that continue to strengthen politically, economically and militarily. In a joint declaration, Putin and Xi heralded their relationship and sought to show a common front against rising Western pressure. Another Russian invasion of Ukraine would put paid to any near-term rapprochement between the West and Russia, which would further complicate India's efforts to maintain a delicate balance between its partnerships with the US, Europe and Russia. If Delhi continues its policy of neither openly criticizing nor endorsing Russian actions in Ukraine, silence could be seen as an endorsement. With Russia's problems with the US become sharper and its alliance with China deeper, the dilemma in New Delhi is increasing as Moscow continues to refuse to acknowledge India's concerns over China's increasingly aggressive behavior in the Ladakh region. Perhaps now it is remain to be seen whether the world's two great democracies, India and US, are teaming up together for a new order or not.